Good evening. Hello, everyone. Welcome to CL's YT channel for law aspirants. Let me just set my chat up and then we shall start the session. I hope you had a good festival and you're now ready to start your studies. Give me a heads up if you can see me and hear me clearly. We shall start the session. I just want to see if the chat is working. All right. Good evening, Ayush. All right, shall we start? As you know, these are passages from articles, newspapers, mostly newspapers, or on essays, or The Economist, or Guardian. And I try to keep if the passages are tough, the questions are simple, but I try to keep it simple so that you practice your reading comprehension. And the questions are patterned on CLAT. CLAT English is easy. CLAT, uh, good evening. So two Ayushas have joined, Ayush Nanda and Ayush Shekhawat. And then if you realize CLAT English is easy, CLAT reasoning is also easy, but we do easy to moderate level questions. So it's good reading comprehension practice for you. All right, this is maybe an excerpt from somewhere, but it is from Statesman. It is not an editorial, but it appeared in the newspaper. So it could be an excerpt from anywhere. All right, but it was published in a newspaper, and I have taken that. All right, 465 words, which is a little more than a CLAT passage. As usual, I'll give you 1 minute to read. All right, each slide. Start reading now. Good evening, Mimansha. All right, your 1 minute is up. Have you read the passage? Anyone done? So we start the next slide. Please type done the moment you're done. Okay. All right, let's start the next slide. All right, I hope you're done. Okay. Are you done? Do you want me to summarize the passage? Let's read the first question, then I will summarize the passage. All right. What is the author trying to do? That means, let me get the pen color right. What is the author's primary purpose in the passage? Why has he written the passage? What's your answer to it? Is it to compare India's economy to other regional players? It is to illustrate India's geopolitical strategies and aspirations. And that was a mistake. To highlight the shortcomings of India's economic diplomacy, or to argue for better trade and investment linkages and enhanced economic engagement among countries. I have got one answer so far. Where are the others? Now, the topic of the passage is India, its eco policies, and in the one particular region, that is Indo-Pacific region. What is the author's tone? Author's tone is critical. He is not praising, he is showing that there are problems, right? So he has compared certain things, but it's not exact, that is not the prime aim. And he has just said that our investment is lower than other regional players. But the main point is not the comparison. It's geopolitical strategies he has mentioned, aspirations he has mentioned, how they align with the diplomacy he has mentioned. At the same time, he has said that it is not aligning. Therefore, this is incomplete, right? He's saying there's a lot to be done if they have to live up to the aspirations. To highlight the shortcomings of India's economic diplomacy. Yes, therefore, C is the correct answer. You got that right. Good. Next, what can you infer from the passage about the author's views on Indian policies or India's policies? What can you infer? India's protectionist measures strengthen local industries and foster deeper regional economic ties. B. India's geopolitical influence is hindered by its lack of sufficient economic engagement. C. India has reached the limit of its outbound investments and trade agreements. Or D. It has successfully overcome regional integration pressures against its strategies. Give me the question number, please. Otherwise, I will be a little confused. Question number two, this is right. Ayush, both the Ayushs have answered. Udit and Mimansha are still, and the others who have not even answered one question. Quickly key in your answers. India's protectionist measures may strengthen local industries, but they hinder regional economic ties. India's geopolitical influence is hindered by its lack of sufficient economic engagement. Yes, this is what he has said. India has to do more outbound investment, he says. He doesn't say it has reached the limit. It has successfully overcome. No, it is facing a challenge. Therefore, B is the correct answer. Very good. Question 3. What is a logical corollary of the first paragraph? What's the meaning of a logical corollary? Something like a conclusion, right? So, based on the information in the passage, the author says India's foreign policy would be strengthened if by doing this. Then the corollary is if India does this, it will become strong. Okay, so it's a conclusion. Look at it like an inference or a conclusion. Tell me what is the logical corollary of the first paragraph. Now I'm going to take you back to the first paragraph for this is the first paragraph for 20 seconds, and then I'll take you back to the passage. All right. All right, let's go to the question. What is the logical corollary? What can be inferred based on what's given? Okay, like an implication of what the author is saying. Rashi, Udit, Ayush have answered so far. My question is, um, those of you who answered A, why not D? Why not D? That's the rule of a conclusion or a logical corollary, which you have to understand whether it's for an easy question or. Now, what has the first paragraph said? We'll only look at the first paragraph, that economic diplomacy is important. India has expanded political and security partnerships, all right, but economically it has not developed, which is a matter of concern. Now, basically, he's saying in, so the corollary is, the implication is that it has to develop its economic footprint. Correct? Now, if it doesn't do, what will happen is the obverse, the other side. Therefore, this we know that it is correct. And second, as somebody said, we do not know, it hasn't said that India is already superior. We don't have a presence, as big a presence as we ought to. So that doesn't mean we are superior. So if you say to increase your power, you must do this, it doesn't mean if you don't do this, you will become totally powerless. Okay, so that's called the other side of the coin, which is never correct with in an assumption or a conclusion question. Good. Question 4. What is the assumption? What is taken for granted? What information is already inbuilt in this statement from the passage? I have given you the statement. All right. Perfect. Both your answers are correct. All your answers are correct. Ayush, the fact that superiority hasn't been mentioned, we cannot infer. Rashi, superior status can't be inferred. And Udit, correct. We don't have any power, and you're saying no power to lose. Okay, similar. Good. Which, what is an implicit assumption? What is the author taking for granted when he says, as Asia's economies continue to grow, India must seize, grab the opportunity to become a central player in the region's economic architecture? All right. Asia's economies are growing, he is saying. The only problem is we do not know if it is an exponential rate. They are growing is correct, and that has already been mentioned. So, is it an exponential rate? I can't say. He is saying India must grab the opportunity to become the central player, means India can, there is a possibility, India has the potential to become a crucial player. India has taken all the necessary steps. No, it is not. So the author is asking it, and the author is not looking for regional hegemony. Hegemony means dominance. The region's economic landscape has not been influenced, not been significantly influenced. But we can't say it has not been influenced at all. Right? Therefore, the correct answer is B, which many of you, all of you got right. Excellent. All right. From where has this passage been taken? I said I've taken it from a newspaper, but newspapers give excerpts from economic reports, government policies. They can give it from anywhere, right? Or can quote that this article appeared in one of our sister concerns, right? I mean, Times of India Femina does that. So where do you think this was taken from? Like, it's fully possible that statesmen said this is the economic report from the government. Okay, so sometimes, even when I say I've taken it from a newspaper, the source, the passage is need not be an extract from the newspaper article. All right. uh, so the problem with economic report is, could be, but it is very critical of India government policy. So if it's an economic report, the government will not speak of itself as the government has not done this, the government has not done that. So it cannot be this or this. Popular magazine will not have such a serious topic generally. It is an article from a newspaper, but the author has quoted from certain books which I have not given in this article. All right. So, how do you know the source? Look at the language and the content. Okay. So, for a popular magazine, the language would be a little easier, a little less formal, right? A government and economic report, there will be way more statistics. All right. All right. Which of the following, according to the author, is the main reason for India's limited regional presence? What is the main reason for India's limited regional presence? It's political partnerships, it's security partnership, economic integration. The author mentioned RCEP and others, or India's economic policies. Which of these contribute to, are the main contribution to the limited regional presence? Okay, I've got one, two. Okay, I've got five, six answers. Where are the rest? 15 students and only five answers. Come on. Come on, more answers. Increasing political partnership. While India increased political and security partnerships, economically it hasn't managed to put a footprint. So this is it. This is yes, and India is therefore finding it challenging. But the main reason is its protectionist policies, which are helping the domestic industry for sure, but make the, yes, yes, protectionist policies which are further restricting outbound investment and economic presence. All right. So correct answer is D. What is the antonym or opposite of inadvertently? If you do something inadvertently, what does it mean? What is the opposite? Unintentionally, accidentally, deliberately, provocatively. If I do something inadvertently, what does that mean? And what is the opposite of that? Inadvertently means unintentionally, therefore, its opposite is accidentally. Perfect. Okay, perfect, perfect. I'll take you back to the passage. I'll ask you some questions. All right. So, answer is C. Next, complete the analogy. You know how to work out analogies. Look at the this is the main pair. Look at the relationship of this pair and find a word which completes it having the same relationship as this word, right? So what is the relationship? Frontier is to border. What is the relationship? I want some more answers. I forgot to time you all today. My timer is giving me problems. Huh? Frontier is to border. What is the relationship? Question marks not allowed, Preetham. Give me the answer without a question mark if you are confident. Yeah, you should be. So, what is the relationship? Frontier is to border. The same thing you have to find is are are they synonyms? Then find the synonym of conglomerate. Are they antonyms? Then find the antonym of conglomerate. Or is it a part of speech? So analogies can be asked in any number of ways. Earlier CLAT used to ask a lot of analogy questions as part of its logical reasoning. Now maybe one question. Antonym means opposite. Deliberate is the correct one. Deliberate is correct, no? C, deliberately is the correct one. Inadvertently means unintentional. This is the meaning. So, deliberately is the antonym. Correct. Okay. All right. Next question. What's the answer? Quickly. Frontier and border means the same thing. Conglomerate can mean to mix together. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. No, the sneeze stopped. Conglomerate can also be a large corporation, many small companies put together. Therefore, B. What does boulderize mean? To bully. Conduit means passage. Conflagration means big, large fire. All right, all right. Okay, good. I'm happy you use the word my fault to this, because when people say my bad, it makes me feel true, true. Okay, so we'll do some analogies, more analogies in the next class. It is not related to the passage, but they improve your vocabulary. They also improve your logical skills. What is the appropriate preposition here? In comparison, dash, with, by, to, or from. Only three answers so far. Come on, some more. Okay, income. Now though we say both, sometimes we say compared to, sometimes it's also okay to say compared with, but in comparison is only two. All right, before I'll just take you back to the passage for one main thing that I need to know. When you are reading and summarizing, first para, okay, what is the key sentence in the first para? One sentence. India's diplomacy has become a crucial component of its broader economic strategic engagements. Is it that, or is it India has successfully expanded its political and security partnerships? Or is it its economic footprint in the region remains underdeveloped? This imbalance is concerning. Which one is the main, which one would you say is the key sentence of this paragraph? This is paragraph 1. The key is its economic footprint in the region remains underdeveloped. Okay, and the region is Indo-Pacific. All right. Next, if you have to look here, two sentences which are the key. Two sentences which are the key sentences of paragraph 2, because paragraph 2 is rather chunky. Or if you have to give one, which one will it be? Only one if you have to give. Its economic footprint remains underdeveloped. Excellent. I'm very happy. Its economic footprint remains okay. Second paragraph. Second paragraph, one key sentence, two if you want to give. See, must involve strengthening trade and investment is the author's opinion. What is the main sentence he's saying? Why is he suggesting that? Because India's economic linkages to secure India's no within the Indo-Pacific pale in comparison this to it. So its economic linkages are poor. All other facts tell you why it remains poor. First one says economic footprint is poor. Second one says that compared to its aspirations of influence, its economic linkages are poor. That's the key. And then he tells you, the rest tells you why his economic footprint linkages are poor. Yes, Deeptakshi, correct. Okay, all right. Third paragraph. This is the third paragraph. India's relatively from here to here. What is now? Remember, I want one sentence. Keep typing quickly. Just the first two words and the last two words. You don't have to type the entire sentence. India's relatively weak position is another challenge. It boasts the world's leading conglomerates, but it ranks low as a source of outbound investment. For a country that seeks greater regional influence, its limited role restricts its ability to shape networks in its favor. Outbound investments are poor. The government's economic policies have contributed to India's limited regional presence. It has adopted protectionist measures, which what Ayush thinks it's the first sentence itself, first statement itself. That's one key, one true. Its weak position in it has a weak position in terms of foreign investments. Okay, that is the main one. Why? And then you will see. All right. Then next one. One more sentence you can pick up here to remember. Next one. The next one. While these initiatives aim to reduce trade deficits, they have created barriers. We need a more balanced approach. Will I get Manshi? You should look for the best. You should look for NLS Bangalore, Hyderabad, and then Jodhpur and GNLU and all will come. Don't worry about it. Aim for the highest. All right. What is the next one? What is the next one? So keep doing this. Read the newspaper, read editorials, but aim high. If you're preparing from now, aim high. You'll do well. No, one is there are barriers, but here it's strategic. And India needs to balance its strategic uh, engagements with stronger economic diplomacy. The last sentence, Ayush, which sums up everything: trade deficits, create jobs, balanced approach, everything, it becomes a stronger economic diplomacy. Because finally, what do you think? All right, next. I'll come to the next question, which I have not. See, what happened is I didn't have time to make more questions today. Sorry. So, last paragraph, central player. You can still get just work on reading comprehension, Mansi. Okay, you can still get. Okay, any top 10, 15 is good, but you have to make sure. हिंदी मीडियम से क्या फर्क पड़ता है? You read every day, you read. Were you able to answer questions in this? Okay, give me a suitable. What is the topic of the passage? If I have to tell you to give a title, what will you say it is? Now, you need to read the syllabus, work out, attend sessions regularly. Nothing will stop you, Mansi. Okay, but keep reading. Reading, if you do reading comprehension, your English will automatically improve. All right, all it does is you are not they're not looking at, they're not asking you to write essays. आपको तो बस पढ़ना है, समझना है और मार्क करना है. Absolutely, you have to refer back to the passage when you're not sure. It's a paper based test, so when you are reading, underline the, that's why I asked you to do that. Now I wanted to spend a little more. Underline what you think is the main sentence of main point of each of the paragraphs as you are reading. All right, so suppose they ask something like number, suppose they ask a quotation, what is the meaning of this quotation? Sometimes they ask how, what are the main figures of speech used here, which have been used maximum, metaphors or idioms, once CLAT had asked. So that time you have to refer back to the passage just to cross check, and if you read thoroughly first time, you can figure out where you can go back in the passage. All right, you have to read, practice, and understand the strategy to crack the exam. Having said that, the gap between the last person who gets in and the first waitlisted is half a mark, 1 mark. So the competition is very high. That is the only thing. What is a good title for this passage? You all suggest. Then you know certain keywords in the passage have to be there in the title. So what's the title for this passage? You have to give it a name. Khel khel mein kind of name. What will you give it? Not like Hindi movies. What title will you give it? The last sentence and the first sentence will help you, right? What did the last sentence talk about? India's economic diplomacy. Even the first sentence talked about India's economic diplomacy. So that will be a good title for the passage. All right. Oh, very nice. That's very nice. But everything comes under India's economic diplomacy. India investing, India and its India's economic diplomacy. That is the key. The problems is that ambition is there, but the strategies are all wrong. All right. Okay. So next time we'll have few more grammar questions, few more uh, vocabulary questions, and all right. And perfect, Udit. Thank you. Thank you very much for correcting yourself. All right. I'll next time we'll try to make it a little more, little tougher. So when I make it tougher, students say it's tougher. But I think all of you answered everything quickly and correctly today. So next time, at least one question you have to have a doubt. All right. Okay. In the Indo-Pacific. Next Saturday, sorry, next Monday again at 8 p.m. Every Monday, 8 p.m. is your RC time with me. We shall solve it live. Okay? All right. Take care, all of you. Thank you. It's been a nice and interactive session. Take care and keep practicing, all of you. And come back next time. And I'll try to make a question. I'll challenge you. Yes, last time also, if I remember, Tanvi, was that you who asked a poem? Poem is very short. Poem along today was a good day to have had a poem. I'll have a poem and a passage. All right? Okay. Take care. Bye.